What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my record collection. The only reason I put it off for 2 weeks, I had exams at college, final exams. It was just very, very busy, but I'm done with all that now. Now I just got to worry about the holidays and all that crap. And yes, I did get a haircut. So if you guys are wondering about that. But we're just going to pick off. The last record I showed you guys was Garage Inc. by Metallica, so we're just going to go on to the next one after that. Okay, let me just... Okay, come on. Here we go. So the next one I have up is a Disney picture disc. It's a decently old record, but it's the it's pretty much the audio version of Mickey's Christmas Carol. Perfect for the holidays. Christmas is only a week away, actually, now that I think about it. But this is an older copy. But it's the Disney picture disc line, which you'll see another one I have coming up soon, which is a newer copy. But this is pretty awesome. I love Mickey's Christmas Carol. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite adaptations, at least from whenever I was a kid. Okay. Okay, there we go. Next up, I have Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell. This is an old copy, like an original copy, I think, from 1977. But I've always loved that album cover with the dude on the motorcycle and the statue in the background. It's a nice rock opera album. It was eventually turned into a musical. Not this album in particular, but most of the songs from this album. There's also songs from Bad Out of Hell 2 and 3. But my favorite song on here is probably the title track, Bad Out of Hell. It's really awesome. I also love 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad is awesome. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Heaven Can Wait's awesome. It's a pretty good album. You know, Meatloaf was a really good musician, and rest in peace to Meatloaf. Oh, this is one of my favorites. One of my favorite Disney movies and one of my favorite Disney soundtracks is Mary Poppins. I love this album. My favorite songs on here, I'm just a sucker for Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Try saying that. And Spoonful of Sugar is great. Chim Chim Cheree is really great. Step in Time. Let's Go Fly a Kite. I love that stuff. But yeah, Mary Poppins is a really good movie. Fun fact, it was also Julie Andrews' very first feature-length film that she ever did, believe it or not. And it became like her most iconic role besides Sound of Music. Next up, I have Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. You know, most people will think that I'm only listening to rock and metal, like hard rock, heavy metal. And that's most of my music, but I also love, 80s, like 70s, 80s, even like 90s pop, 80s and 90s and 2000s hip-hop. Also, jazz. I'm a sucker for jazz music. I bought this at Walmart for like 25 bucks. It's a little pricey, but it's a really good album. I love Miles Davis. I love all the songs on here. There's only 5, but man, So What, Freddie Freeloader, Blue and Green, All Blues, and Flamenco Sketches. 5 amazing songs. So, really good album. Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. Definitely check that out. And then I got Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. A really good hard rock band from the 70s. This is definitely a killer hard rock album from that era. So if you ever want to listen to some classic hard rock, definitely check out Nazareth, but specifically Hair of the Dog. It's really awesome. And then next up I got Harvest by Neil Young. I also like Neil Young, nice softer rock music. Neil Young is phenomenal. I love Neil Young. I'm okay with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. It's not my forte, but they're okay. I think it's some good stuff. And then here, I bought this at Walmart for like 18 bucks, which is a steal. But this is one of my all-time favorite albums, like probably top 50 albums of all time. 9 Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine. This album is so freaking awesome. If you love electronic music, if you love rock music, if you love industrial music, like, this is just killer. Like, obviously, Head Like a Hole is probably the most popular song on this album. Probably, like, one of their most popular songs in general. But it's such a good song. Terrible Lie is awesome. Down in It. Sanctified. Like, just this whole album is just, if you want a good time, just put on this album. You will not regret it. And then I mentioned earlier that I had another Disney picture disc. I mentioned I had another one, and I do, but it's for The Nightmare Before Christmas. I bought this at Walmart last year. I think it was like $30, which may be a little pricey, but it's a really solid soundtrack written by Danny Elfman, who's a frequent Tim Burton collaborator. Even though Tim Burton didn't direct this movie like a lot of people say he did, Tim Burton was obviously the director, and he's the one who created the story. So Danny Elfman, well, not only did Danny Elfman write the music, but he did the singing voice for Jack Skellington, and he also played one of the three trick-or-treater kids, Lock, Shock, and Barrel. I forget which one he played, but he also did like the clown with the tearaway face and stuff like that. So yeah, and Danny Elfman, phenomenal writer, and the picture disc is of course of Jack Skellington, and on the back we got Sally here. Yeah, one of my favorite Disney movies, one of my favorite Tim Burton-esque movies, even though Henry Selick is the one who directed it. One of my favorite Danny Elfman soundtracks, just really phenomenal. And well worth the $30. Alright, let me just get this up in here. Next up, I have Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman. Hold on, let me turn the brightness down a little bit. There we go. Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman. This album is really phenomenal. I actually have the pop vinyl figure with the album cover on it. So it's like it's not like a huge pop vinyl figure, but it's like a huge pop vinyl figure box. It's like this big. It's got Ozzy like right here, and then it's got the album cover showing. It's really awesome. Bought that for like $15, brand new on eBay, which is nuts. But I love Over the Mountain. Flying High is awesome. Believer is a really nice one, like nice bass opener. Diary of a Madman, of course, is like a nice song. Just this whole album is really good. It was unfortunately the last album of Ozzy's to feature Randy Rhoads on guitar. He unfortunately passed away shortly after this came out. But phenomenal guitar player. Ozzy's great at singing on this. Just phenomenal. Okay, and then I also have Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. And a funny story I gotta tell. So my mom's not big into this kind of music, but she said whenever she was younger, so in 1983, she would have been 9 years old. But she told me that her dad bought this record because it was like brand new, and my granddad, he loves Ozzy, and she said that this album cover was laying on the floor, and she was sleeping out in the living room, and the moonlight, like I think she said it was like stormy or something like that, but like the moonlight came in and like shined the light on the album cover, and she said like it freaked her the hell out. Like she was so scared, because I mean that is a pretty creepy album cover of Ozzy, like a werewolf, you know. But this album is really phenomenal. Bark at the Moon title track is awesome. Center of the Eternity, not Century, Center of the Eternity, So Tired. Just the whole album is awesome. And this album, I believe, has a sick poster that goes along with it that I need to get hung up sometime, because that poster is killer. I'm just a sucker for Ozzy Osbourne. Like, some people don't like him, and I mean, yeah, his voice isn't for everybody, but man, he was literally like, he's the Prince of Darkness. And then here we got an album that I bought it because it was on sale, but this is the only album I really like by this man. But I got Pearl Jam 10. Like, it's not a bad album, but you know, I think Pearl Jam is really overrated. And this album, like, I don't like the whole album. I think Even Flow is a really good song. Alive is good. Jeremy, Black, and Oceans. Other than that, it's kind of eh. But I bought it because it was on sale. It was like $18 at Walmart, so I bought it. But they're not a bad band. They're just overrated. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Some of these records, like, they don't lean on each other, but they're almost like sandwiched with each other. So trying to pull them in or push them in can be a little bit of a challenge. But Pat Benatar, Getting Nervous. This is the most popular song in here is probably Shadows of the Night, which is a good song. I'm a sucker for Pat Benatar. Not gonna lie, she also looks crazy on that album cover. She looks mad. Looking a little kooky. Oh, I love this. This is another one of my favorite albums. Man, I'm sorry, but I'm a sucker for Prince. Prince, Purple Rain. Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain. I love the movie. I love this album. I had a poster for this, but it unfortunately got ruined, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, this is a phenomenal album, and I love this look on it. This nice shiny look. It's awesome. So yeah, I love Prince. Prince is awesome. Rest in peace. Next up, we have one of my favorite records in my collection, not only because of the music, but also because of the color. But I got Pantera, Cowboys from Hell. And, of course, this album's great. I love, my favorite songs on here are probably The Art of Shredding, the title track, Cowboys from Hell, Psycho Holiday is awesome. Cemetery Gates is obviously a really nice, like, slower power ballad type song. Domination is freaking awesome. Heresy. But this album is white and brown whiskey colored vinyl, and it's awesome. It's one of my favorite colored vinyls I have. Let me just get this. Come on. And next up, I have 2 copies of the same album for some reason, but I have a much older copy, and then I have a newer copy of Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. This version came with a poster. It comes with a poster, I think. I thought it did. Never mind. Well, then what came in the other side? Oh, I see. Hold on. Oh yeah, it came with some stickers. I never even looked inside the second sleeve, to be honest, because I thought it came with a poster. But this is a really good album by Pink Floyd. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites. And then this is the older copy right here. It's from like the late 70s, I think. So a little bit after it came out. And then this was a gift from my grandma, and it cost like $50 at Walmart, but it was worth it. But it's Pink Floyd's The Wall. Sorry about that little damage right there. But this is a killer album, 26 songs. It's a really good album. You know, I don't need drugs to be into this. I'm already into it. That's a little joke I like to tell myself. Like I don't need drugs for that. I'm already into it. Next up, I got, this is another one of the weird album covers, or not album covers, but albums like sleeves. So this is Queen News of the World, but the album comes out like this. I just think it's kind of weird, you know, maybe because I'm used to pulling records out like this. But I love that album cover. This is a really good album. My favorite songs in here, are probably Sheer Heart Attack. Of course, We Are the Champions is awesome. We Will Rock You is a nice thumping anthem for the fans to, you know, get involved with. So yeah, Queen News of the World, really good album. And I have a couple more Queen records. I have Queen Jazz. This is a really good album, one of my favorite Queen albums actually. And this actually comes with a poster, I believe. Yeah, it comes with a poster of like a bunch of bicycles, because the bicycle race, obviously. One of Queen's cheesiest songs, but honestly a pretty good song I like. Bicycle. But if I can get it back in here. Yeah, this album is really good, and I think this is colored vinyl, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. It's pink. It's like solid pink, and it's really awesome. My favorite songs on here, if I can get to it real quick. My favorite songs on here are probably Mustafa is a really underrated one. Fat Bottom Girls is easily one of my favorite Queen songs. I think Freddie Mercury just put like a lot of angst into it. Bicycle Race, like I said, is a really cheesy song, but I love it. Don't Stop Me Now is really good. Just this whole album is pretty good. If you're not a fan of Queen, need to rethink your life and pick up this album, because Queen is awesome. And I have 2 copies of this album too, but I'm just going to show you the one copy. I'm not going to show you duplicate copies if I have them anymore. But this is the newer copy I have. The other one is like an older copy from like the early 80s, but this is a newer copy. But it's The Game by Queen, and this is a really shiny cover album sleeve that I love. My favorite songs in here are another one by Sedust, awesome opening bass riff. Dragon Attack is a really underrated song. Need Your Love Tonight. Loving Tonight is a really good one. Crazy Little Thing Called Love's a nice softer song. But this album, what's cool about it is it's silver, which is really awesome. So yeah, phenomenal album by Queen. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, and then I have like seven records by these guys because my grandma is a huge fan of them, and they were all her records that she gave me. So yeah, there's like 7 by this band, but this is REO Speedwagon, and this is Good Trouble. Yeah, so this is a pretty decent album. I think Good Trouble, like title track's a really good song. Sweet Time is really good. Keep the Fire Burning. Yeah. I know I have to look. Sometimes I forget the names of albums. That happens to me sometimes. I just have like brain farts. So I apologize for that in advance. And then I got REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity. This is probably their most famous record. This has got Keep On Loving You and Take It All on the Run, which I remember my friend was DJing for his sister's wedding, and and he said, hey, like, what do you think of the songs? And I told him to take It On the Run. He goes, why? And I'm like, because you know what that song's about, right? He goes, no. And I'm like, oh, look it up. And he was like, oh, after he found out. So he took it out, but he kept Keep On Loving You and Can't Fight This Feeling on in there. But I'm like, just take It On the Run. You don't want that song in there. So let me just do this. And I don't have my REO Speedwagon records in order. I just never got around to it because I'm lazy. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me just... Okay, I completely got them out of order now. Okay. REO Speedwagon, 9 Lives. This is a pretty decent record. Good songs are Rock and Roll Music and Heavy on Your Love. Those are pretty decent songs. Again, these are not in order. I need to take time to do it though. REO 2. Good songs on here. I think How the Story Goes is a really good song, and the others are okay. You can You Can Tune a Piano, but you can't tune a fish. This is probably one of their more famous records. This has Time for Me to Fly on it, which is like one of their more popular songs. And then I got REO Speedwagon. I think this is just the self-titled. Yes. It's just like the original self-titled. And then we have, not their most popular album, but Wheels Are Turning, but it's got their most popular song, which is Can't Fight This Feeling. That's probably their most popular song. I mean, some people might say Keep On Loving You is more popular, which it might be, who knows. We're getting close, guys. Rod Stewart, believe this is what was it? Every Picture Tells a Story. That's what it is. I think my grandma gave this to me. Not the biggest fan of Rod Stewart, but he's okay. Oh, I love this. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Classic. Alright, give me a second, guys. Can't get it. There we go. So we got 2112 by Rush. I think this is the only Rush record I have. Yeah. So this is the only Rush record I have. I have like 7 CDs by Rush, but records are a lot more expensive. So that's why I have more CDs than I do records. But this is a really good record. Probably my favorite Rush record besides the self-titled debut. But my favorite songs on here, Passage to Bangkok is awesome. The Twilight Zone. And then, yeah, I do like 2112, even though it's like a 20-minute song. I am a sucker for the title track. Yeah. And then I have the Rocky soundtrack. This has got Gonna Fly Now, Go in the Distance, Philadelphia Morning, You Take My Heart Away. So this is the soundtrack to the first Rocky movie. Skid Row, self-titled debut. This is an awesome record for the glam metal genre or hard rock glam metal genre. But it comes like this like really nice red vinyl. It's really awesome. I pretty much love every song on here. My favorites are probably Rattlesnake Shake, Sweet Little Sister. I Remember You's a nice softer song. Youth Gone Wild. 18 in Life is phenomenal. I love that song. I think like honestly one of my favorite vocal performances and like the glam metal genre or like the hair metal genre is 18 in Life, especially that scream that Sebastian Bach does in the intro, the live 9 to 5, and then he does like that nice scream, just gets me every time. All right, now I gotta remember where I picked off. Okay, I found it. Just trying to put these back in. And then I got the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack to the John Travolta movie. Music was done by the Bee Gees. Not the biggest fan of them, but they're okay. No, I got Styx, Paradise Theater. Styx is an okay band. I have a couple of records by them, but they were my grandma's. They're not too bad, though. And then I got Styx, Kilroy Was Here. And then I got Best of Styx. This is just the best of compilation. Let me just get this real quick. Oh, come on, man. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Okay, Stone Temple Pilots, Core. My favorite album by them and one of my favorite albums of the grunge era. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm not a super big fan of Nirvana or Pearl Jam. So, personally, I would replace them in the Big Four. I would keep Soundgarden and Alice in Chains because I really like them. But I would personally replace them with Stone Temple Pilots. And then the other one I would place, I don't know. Honestly, there's really only 3 grunge bands I actually really, really, really like. And that's Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, and Alice in Chains. And Alice in Chains and Soundgarden weren't even really like grungy-ish in my opinion. Like they were, the 1994 Soundgarden album, Super Unknown, was kind of grungy-ish, but like they were more like on the heavier metal side. But yeah, this is a really good album. My favorite song on here is Sex Type Thing, but I also love Plush. It's a really good song, and Wet My Bed, Creep, all really good songs. Scott Weiland was a phenomenal vocalist, whether it be in Stone Temple Pilots or Velvet Revolver. This comes on a nice splatter red vinyl, though. I bought it at Walmart for like $18. I actually bought it with the Nine Inch Nails record. Bought it at the same time. And then we get to probably my favorite record in my collection, not because of the music, but because of the album. So this is Lateralis by Tool. But this is my favorite album in my collection, like record-wise, because of the design. It is the coolest thing you will ever see. It is picture discs of like some of the album artwork. And look at that, like it's like that for both discs. And it's just freaking, it's awesome. Like, it was well worth the like $45-50 I spent on it. It was worth it. And also because, I just love Tool, so. Alright, just let me do this real quick. God, man. Okay, there we go. And then I got Ted Nugent's self-titled debut album from 1975. This was only $10 at the record shop I bought it, which ain't too bad. And it sounds great too. I love Ted Nugent. I don't care what anybody says. Honestly, like some people say, oh, he supports, he's a Republican. How about support his music? Like, it don't matter. It don't give a damn what his political beliefs are. Like, who cares? But yeah, music is really awesome. I love Ted Nugent. He's one of my favorite guitar players. He's just freaking awesome. And then I got Van Halen 1. This is definitely my favorite Van Halen record musically. It's just freaking awesome. And I don't know where it went, but it came with a fake band like backstage pass for Van Halen. But yeah, this is a really good album. Running with the Devil and Ain't Talking About Love, Eruption, some of my favorites. So yeah, really phenomenal record. And of course, rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen, arguably the greatest guitar player of all time. And then I got 1984 by Van Halen on vinyl. This is the last one with David Lee Roth. See, in my opinion, even though my favorite album is Van Halen 1, personally, in my opinion, David Lee Roth is not that great of a singer. In my opinion, he has the presence, which is great. But personally, Sammy Hagar is a much better singer vocally. I think Sammy Hagar has a bigger range and he has a better singing voice. He can keep the pitch perfectly and everything, just really good. So yeah. But David Lee Roth is a good showman. I'm not going to deny that. And then I got Willie Nelson, Family Bible. One of my mom's friends gave this to me recently, and I like me some old Willie Nelson. And then the last record I have is going to be Eliminator by ZZ Top. This is a really good album. Give Me All Your Lovin's really great. Sharp Dressed Man is probably my favorite on here. Just love that. Thug is a really good song. TV Dinners, Dirty Dog, Bad Girl. Just a really good album. And yeah, that's going to be all my records, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my two-parter. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.